So Shad, I think that's actually transition into one of the other mega trends, which are the existing businesses already in a community, including small businesses. So many of you mentioned this as a huge priority and trend. Mark, Russ, and John, I'd like your insights about this. John, can you get us started with what you're seeing?
Certainly. So what I've seen from my end is that boards and community leaders are extremely focused on making sure that their main streets and their local business community survives this change in this pandemic and this downturn in the economy, much more so than new business attraction and job creation. They want the local community to survive, and so the economic developers that I work with that are having success have done quite a bit of a pivot, and they're not, those are their top initiatives now is how do I help secure funding and dollars for the local business community? How do I help their workforce change and adapt to more of a remote worker style, or get them back to work with the appropriate protective equipment, and just really be a resource for that local business community, is a very large trend. And I believe that it's going to continue to be that way for quite a while.
Mark, can you discuss what these local and small businesses will need?
So that's a pretty complicated answer in that all small businesses are pretty different. They all have very unique needs. The most obvious answer that everyone on here is thinking of is money. They're going to need money. They always have needed money. So right now, good time to give them money. But it reminds me of the, old proverb that's like, well, you teach a man to fish, he fishes for life. You give a man to fish, he eats today. So I would actually focus more of my efforts on helping them make money long-term on their own and not just handing them out money. While giving them money is good, make sure that you're setting them up to make more money in the future. So they actually need a lot of the same things that you're used to giving big businesses. They need market research. They need data. They need demographic information. They need comparative information to help them against others who they're competing with. They've probably had interruptions in supply chain. They need to figure out where they might be able to find a cabinet person or wood if you're in home building. They're going to need all that same information that the big businesses are asking you for. So you have to be able to supply that to each individual small business as well. They may need buildings, land, internet, so on and so forth. So in other words, they're going to need a lot of things. And rather than you having to staff up enough people to go and contact thousands of businesses in your community, you're going to have to set them up with software to be able to digitally help them, to help them through your website, because it's going to be impossible to help them individually like you do the large employers in your community. So when you're speaking about what businesses need, that's just the things the existing businesses need. How about all the startups that are going to come in? Entrepreneurship is already starting to take off, as all of the statistics are showing. Businesses are going out, but guess what? In order for you to get that workforce we talked about, for your community to be more attractive, they don't need to see your downtown a bunch of boarded up buildings. You need to help new small businesses get in there and make your community vibrant again. And the economic development organizations who don't pay any attention to small business, it's going to really show this year, unfortunately, and it won't be good for your community.
Thanks, Mark. Russ, how has awareness of the value of local businesses changed things?
Yeah, I mean, I think, boy, this probably goes back to an economic development trend that's never really left, which is buy local, buy local, buy local, right? I mean, we've always talked about that. And I just think the focus is even more, we're less mobile now, right? I mean, look at all of us here. We're all working from our homes, right? I mean, we don't have the opportunity to maybe go out as much as we used to. What do? You DoorDash, you're buying something from a local business, you're buying food, a meal, we're all trying to maybe have a little bit more awareness, that you're going there, or, maybe even going to your local hardware store as opposed to going to Lowe's or Home Depot, like really just from our own ways that we're spending our money and that we're able to do things. I think it's reflective of, kind of that larger trend where we're just looking back at that buy local. I mean, and, as we know, that money circulates through the economy. I always forget what the multiplier is, but it circulates back through the economy so much more than the out migration. But I actually had one other thought on just maybe the I don't know, let's call it the Amazon effect too. I mean, I think of the holidays and I think of how many Amazon trucks are driving all over the community. I mean, there's a lot of jobs that the, kind of that gig economy, provided for a lot of people who might not be able to be serving in a restaurant or, working, they may have been laid off. So, I mean, you've kind of got that other piece too, where, that economy is supporting, a lot of other kind of local stuff. And so maybe those dollars aren't 100% staying here, but sure gave a lot of people a lot of opportunity to keep their head above water, over this time. So,
yeah, I think clearly supporting small businesses and local businesses is all upside. As you mentioned, Russ, the economic multipliers, recycling those dollars locally, it's unbeatable. And also, as we saw from the elections, it's politically popular. There's no economic development organization that if they're helping small businesses, people are going to say, "Oh, stop helping the local businesses,"
right.
Because this is the lifeblood of every economy.